groups advanced into here. So basically what we have is 2 preliminary best of 3s to determine who's going to be seeded into the round of 4 to play off either versus Hurricane or Trap. And that's what this is for starters. Cure versus INnoVation, going to be a very high level Terran versus Terran. The map is Kairos Junction, spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. It is Cure for Team Jin Air Greenwings.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, it's the red Terran player INnoVation.
It's great to see a lot of you guys that have been tuning on in for the first few days coming back for these finals, because it's going to be very exciting. Okay, you know the 6 names in. We've got Solar, we've got INnoVation, Cure, Hurricane, Trap, and Fantasy. Who's going to win the whole thing?
I gotta say INnoVation. Again, I just feel like he's playing at the highest level I've seen him at for about a year or so. He looked fantastic in the qualifier yesterday, and I feel like nobody else left in here can match up quite with him. So yeah, INnoVation. That's my pick.
I think INnoVation's always a safe bet. That's pretty good. A lot of pressure saying not just pick the winner for this individual match, pick the winner for the whole tournament. I think my money's on Trap, if I had to say so. As he's just looking very good. He won the qualifier, and then he topped his group, and now he's here. So it's like I'm thinking it's going to be Trap. That's my guess.
Yeah, it's a true fact. I mean, his TVP especially did look really good yesterday.
Nasty. That was some nasty Terran versus Protoss.
Yeah, it's just the control he exhibited, the patience he had, the compositions he chose, and the way he was macroing. All those things came together to just show some really, really great PvT stuff. So yeah, I think Trap's a very, very safe choice as well, based on what we've been seeing. But just feel like INnoVation kind of rises to the top here. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Sometimes he just turns it on, you know. Like he's got his down times, but then his up times are up times. That's for sure. Like he is looking scary today. As far as this TvT goes, how about your prediction? You think if you think INnoVation's winning the whole thing, we know who you're betting on for this match. But
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Going to be a 2-0 or a 2-1 if that's your prediction.
TvT is just volatile enough that I feel like 2-1 is probably the safer way to go here. It's just so hard to beat somebody 2 times in a row, especially somebody as good.
Look at this Reaper for Cure.
As Cure is. Ooh, INnoVation does manage to save that Reaper, backs into a corner. Another one comes in to help his buddy and does chase that one away. We've got additional Hellion and another Reaper coming out for Cure. Hellion, pretty fantastic against Reaper. It's just that bonus damage versus light really coming into play here. The early TvT not looking too different at all.
Yeah, these guys. Sorry.
Oh yeah, both players doing pretty much the same thing here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just about to say. They're actually going for pretty much identical mirror builds. The one difference is that INnoVation made a Widowmine as opposed to an extra Hellion and Reaper. But very, very similar builds, as you said. And yeah, that's just how TvT and general mirror matchups go at times. Look at the positioning of the Hellions and Reapers and whatnot. Both these guys, they're just pretty comfortable in this matchup. As far as this match goes, Cure's TvT was looking pretty good versus TY the other day. So definitely can't sleep on him. Let's just see how these guys are going to diversify their build, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the question, right? Is where is the difference? Does somebody go for battle cruisers? Do we start seeing a lot of cyclones out of someone here? I mean, battlecruiser can be pretty good. I mean, maybe not mass PC in this matchup, but definitely just a little bit of harassment or bringing in some Yamato to snipe off a Raven or two can be pretty interesting. So we'll see how this works out. Looks like a drop is picking up and heading out. INnoVation being aggressive here off of these 2 bases and going to cruise on over. That is the Emojin skin, isn't it? I want to say...
Oh, I don't know.
For the medevac there, I believe that's what that is.
I used to be really good at spotting my skins, but not so much as of late. And INnoVation is coming in here, as you said. Aggression, the tank, and the medevac, that's a clear sign of Terran's going for aggression, and INnoVation's already here across the map. He didn't make a Raven, he didn't make a Cyclone or anything. He went right for this tank and right for some aggression. Now, early aggression in TvT can be hard to pull off because look at this, Cure uses his Raven interference matrix, goes down on the tank, and I think he's going to clean this up with relative ease. He lost 3 SCVs though to INnoVation's drop. The Marines are now heading towards the main base, and we'll see what else they can get done.
Yeah, he's killed a few SCVs here. Did kill a supply depot as well. Oh, he's done. he knows. He didn't try to run because he got the Cyclone lock on. He's going to kill as much as he can and then just lose everything. So I think well defended by Cure there. About as good as you can do. 5 SCVs down, but did take down the tank. His army supply is bigger. His worker supply is about the same. He didn't lose too much in the exchange. And INnoVation on the back foot kind of has to rebuild his army from scratch here. So I think Cure, that was pretty well done.
I think that was pretty darn fantastic for Cure, as a matter of fact. If INnoVation, say, got out with those Marines, I think it would have been okay for INnoVation. However, the fact that he lost that Medivac and those Marines, that was a little bit much, I suppose. Not going to have those to fall back on.
True fact. But again, I mean, he went for the extra damage inside the main base. The Cyclone caught it, and once that lock-on was there, he didn't have the boost available to escape. So he kind of had to get it out of there. Anyway, now it's Cure's turn to be on the offensive. He's cruising out. He's got 2 tanks, a Cyclone, a Raven, a Viking. I mean, it's pretty darn interesting composition here with a Liberator in the mix, too. Kind of reminds me of how Maru plays Terran these days. Just a little bit of everything most of the time here. Army supply is a little bit bigger for Cure. Not a huge difference. Tank count is looking at a 3-3 setup here. So I don't think Cure is going to be able to kill INnoVation here, but it looks like he might be able to get some damage done. INnoVation does have the high ground. Don't underestimate the high ground. And a Marine's going to sacrifice his life to see exactly what we're dealing with down here. And there's the scan. Tanks in siege mode. Cure says, yeah, you know what? No, I'm not breaking up this ramp. Let's pull back a little bit.
INnoVation did go for 2 Ravens. We saw he went for a Medivac first, but he still saw it important to get those units, so he's got them up now. Oh, some SCVs are going down, though. Oh, the Liberator in the main base for Cure picks off 6 SCVs, 7, 8, getting a few more, 9. Never underestimate a Liberator. INnoVation sending the boys back to work a little bit too soon. Takes a fair bit of damage. That was a great Liberator for Cure.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic play. Like you said, Liberators can get a lot of stuff done if they're not taken care of very quickly and efficiently here. So INnoVation been on the back foot now. That was a big hit to his economy. He's down about 6 workers now to Cure. Cure just sharking around here on the outside. He does have this low ground situation. Tries to get some lock-on damage on that tank. Does do it. Can't quite finish it off. Cure's expanding to a 3rd base outside here too. And that is a massive, massive deal. Getting that 3rd base down before INnoVation really is even attempting to go for a 3rd base here. I don't see another base under construction. Oh, never mind. There is one there. He's heading out to land it. So not as far behind as I expected, but still, Cure is ahead in pretty much every conceivable metric right now.
Yeah, Cure getting his 3rd command center on location, being the Terran who made that play. That usually happens to one of the Terrans. One of them usually decides to do that. Now INnoVation's trying to secure his 3rd. We'll see if he can do that. Both players going to have stim in a second, but look at this. The tank's getting sieged up for Cure on this location. He's denying that base for now. Scan goes down, so he actually picks off INnoVation. INnoVation tried to save it with an interference matrix. However, it was actually too late. So things going rather well for Cure. INnoVation, he does have one thing going for him. Right now, we take a look. His upgrades have finished, whereas Cure's are actually still a ways off. And we're seeing a Viking engagement go down, but INnoVation's Ravens really help him out there. So winning the air battle.
Yeah, massive amounts of interference matrix there. Really taking most of Cure's army out of this picture there. Army supply still in favor of Cure. Again, his 3rd base is done. INnoVation still trying to find a home for that 3rd location. As you said, upgrades are favoring INnoVation, but sometimes just sheer amount of stuff can be what makes the difference here. As Cure coming in, trying to threaten that 3rd base of INnoVation. Inno trying to mine from it a little bit here with his 60 worker count. Cruising on in with some Hellions, the tank setup, and just getting some early shots off here on this orbital command.
Beautiful setup for Cure, getting on in here, denying the 3rd still. Let's take a look at the income graph. It's definitely in the favor for Cure. INnoVation, he's had his 3rd denied a fair bit. And can I just point out, these guys have a lot of tanks and very few Marines, relatively. Like, their Marine production is still just getting online. Eventually, they'll start churning out a ton of them. But for now, just Cure poking and prodding with all of his tanks. He is getting up a lot of Marines, though. And overall supply, Cure is very far ahead at this point, just from the way this game's gone. He's up 30 supply. INnoVation is really focused on the Vikings versus Cure. He has made himself a lot of Marines, 29 to 12 right now. He's up on tanks, so we might just see Cure dive on in here. He's got to be careful about how he goes about it. He is rolling on up, though. Marines are actually working away on INnoVation's air fleet, so that's getting picked off.
Yeah, INnoVation losing his Vikings there. His Ravens taking shots now as well. Tank count for INnoVation looking extremely strong. Marines busting on in. Cure has double the army of INnoVation right now. Inno backing his SCVs into a corner. I think Cure has done it here. INnoVation, what answer does he possibly have right now? He's at half of the overall supply. He's trying to do what he can. He's got tanks in defensive positions. He did clean up the attack at his natural base, but he lost 32 SCVs during that engagement. He's going for it, trying to win this thing against 4 tanks. Reinforcements do come in here, and it looks like INnoVation might actually be able to push this off, but
it's gonna be close.
He has sustained so much damage, even if he can do this, which the reinforcements from Cure make this very difficult.
Yeah, that was an absolute ton of damage done by Cure. The supply overall, he's literally doubling it. GG. Okay,
yeah.
I lied. He wasn't literally doubling the supply there at the end. He was off doubling it by 2.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Cure. You're making me look like a fool here. Holy smokes, that was very impressive. Held the early attack by INnoVation very well. Got his expansion up. Really just kind of out-macroed Inno, denied that third base 2 or 3 times, and then that was it. It was time to push. Made it happen. Fantastic play from Cure. Again, making my early pick of INnoVation to win this whole thing look very, very bad. But it's not over yet. That's why we play the StarCraft, is because we don't know who's going to win these things.
Yeah, INnoVation absolutely can bring it back, but it is very dicey. He fought his way through the group stage, but he's now 1 map away from being eliminated. These are just best of 3 guys.
Yep. So, I mean, 1 game down is a big number to be down here in this best of 3. Please check out also the Matcherino, especially if this is your first time here watching today. This tournament's been going on for a while. Matcherino link is there in the chat side on the right. Matcherino code AWAB will let you throw a single $1 at the player prize pool for free. So be sure to check that out here between games, during games, whatever you want. It's available whenever you are available to throw that money at these players.
Absolutely, and here we go. We're getting into the next game. The map is King's Cove, spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. He's got himself a 1-0 lead, playing for Team Jin Air. It's Cure.
And spawning in the bottom right, the blue Terran player, it's INnoVation.
And oh, look at this. Remember that double proxy attempt? Who was it? Which Terrans were that? Was that Fantasy and...
INnoVation, yeah, I think.
Oh man, that was something. Cure,
I've never...
for it.
Yeah, it's so crazy to see both players proxying and to scout each other's proxies at the same time and just be like, well, I guess that's not happening. And go back home. That was fantastic.
Okay, and we'll see how INnoVation's going to deal with this. He hasn't gone for a second gas yet, and that is... Well, he's just getting up his barracks, so we'll see if he does go for that second gas. But that is a big part. And okay, he does go for it. The map is King's Cove, so taking that serious enough.
Yep, pretty smart stuff here. The barracks are getting very close to completion. At least one of them are for Cure here. INnoVation not scouting. Just kind of doing his own thing here. And honestly, I've always wondered why players, especially when they're this close to losing 1 game away from being eliminated, just don't work or scout, man. I know it hurts your economy a little bit. I guess we are moving out now.
Of the devil, there we go. That's going to be late, right?
I was going to say, I don't think it's early enough to really prepare for what's going on here.
Yeah, it's just on time to be useless. Unless it sees this SCV, but I think it's just out of vision of that SCV. Yeah, he ain't seen that other SCV, so INnoVation is in the dark for this.
Yep, Reaper 1 and Reaper 2 coming in now. INnoVation going for a factory, going for an orbital command, getting a Reaper of his own, but he is woefully and perfectly unprepared for this. The SCV for INnoVation is going to show up, but the reaction time is not going to really be enough to help here. Yep, he sees, okay, there's nothing here. Crap, it's a proxy. What do I do in response? What does he do in the production tab? Nothing changes.
Is important. But now we've got this Reaper versus Reaper. INnoVation does get the first shot off, so that is a very nice start for him. He's thinking of pursuing, but he quickly nopes out of there because he knows another Reaper is coming out. And here it goes. It's just a matter of surviving and running out the clock for INnoVation. SCVs have to be pulled. You're going to want to try and get everything he can. He wants to get at least a couple SCVs for his efforts. Gets 1 so far, gets a second. There we go. Picks off the Reaper of INnoVation. That is absolutely huge.
Wow.
That could lead to a potential snowball here as another Reaper jumps on in for Cure. He's getting so much damage done here.
6 SCVs down. Hellion does show up, which is really useful here. But more and more Reapers in production, starting to come on out. Combat drugs healing up the wounded Reapers, the one at the back.
This is real
and it's
scary.
just, it's 1 Hellion and 1 Reaper versus 4 Reapers. KD8 charge does get a hit there. That's really important stuff here. Trying to focus down.
Damage, though. Look at all these SCVs. They're so red. They're going to be getting picked off. I think Cure might have just done it with this.
Yeah, 10
man.
SCVs down. It's a 22 to 15 Harvester lead in favor of Cure. INnoVation looks like he might have enough to hold, but still more and more Reapers coming out of the time. INnoVation going to try to shut this thing down, taking it to where Cure lives.
Cure's coming on with his Reapers, though. He might just be able to pursue this. Does he dive into the main or something? Looks like he is going to retreat for now. A very mature decision for Cure. He knows that he got the damage done, and the damage, it was done. Let's take a look at that income graph here. Surging ahead for Cure.
Yeah, definitely a huge advantage, especially this early in the game. Oh boy. Alright, so we're home, and as we said before, Terran players can recover from their proxies, not actually killing their opponent. You can kind of come out of this and be just fine, but INnoVation needs to get some damage done here. I'm not convinced that he can. There's a Cyclone defensively being set up here, which is so good against whatever pressure INnoVation has. He can't get through that wall. And the Cyclone can kind of sit back and just pick off whatever shows up here. Reaper's on the high ground, trying to keep stuff alive, just delaying until the Cyclone shows up. And there's the lock on, and now you gotta go. Now INnoVation can't get up that ramp at all. The Cyclone actually engaging a little bit. Did he decide to leave? No. He did stay inside the main intelligently enough. And INnoVation can't get anything done.
INnoVation did go for a CC on the low ground, so he is just trying to muscle his way out of this. But, oh, look at Cure. You know, that SCV, he's rather red, and Cure, he's got a plan in mind, I think. We'll see if he actually finishes this Marine. There we go, he does cancel it. He's still in a very comfortable spot.
He is. Yeah, I saw the barracks go down there. I didn't figure we would actually see a Marine be produced, but hey, for the lulz, gotta make it happen. Marines fighting away at that barracks. INnoVation is defending here. Got that high ground. Cure sending a Banshee out. Pretty good decision here based on the fact that INnoVation doesn't really have anything at home defending at all. There's the Cyclone in the natural base, but nothing in the main. So they have to have some really good positioning to deal with that. He does actually bring some units back into the main base to defend against that. Raven production has begun for INnoVation here too. And yeah, look at him being prepared for this. He's like, is there a drop or a Banshee or anything here? I'm going to be ready for it.
Yeah, the worker count is evening up, and basically what happened is now both players are pretty saturated, and they're both getting up their naturals, so the income advantage is dispersing a little bit. INnoVation actually coming into the lead since he had the slightly quicker natural, so more mules, basically. And we'll see if he can just get his way out of this. Already getting a lock onto the Banshee is absolutely huge with the Cyclone Cure. Just loses that Banshee completely for free. That is fantastic for INnoVation.
Yeah, that Banshee really had no shot of doing anything.
Oh man, that was very, very good for the blue Terran player. That's given him a lot of hope here. One thing that is still a little bit concerning, you lose 10 workers, you're going to be behind in some metric. He's catching up in the workers, his income's looking pretty good, and so is his overall supply. However, Cure has invested into Stimpack. He's making tanks. He's going to be 3-raxing and just producing a lot of Marines, whereas Stimpack is not in sight for INnoVation. He doesn't have any extra barracks up or anything like that. And so that's going to be the sort of next hurdle for INnoVation to overcome, the fact that Cure is going to be hyper-aggressive with Stim probably in just a few moments.
Yep, probably waiting for that upgrade to finish up here, then we'll start pushing. Really can't let INnoVation catch up to you. If you do damage to him, you need to follow up on that. Just hoping that you're going to still be in the lead here in 10 minutes is not the way to go. So, Cure recognizes that. You got to be aggressive. He's getting his own Stim INnoVation, working on that now. Definitely going for some of that bio play at least. Tank production still showing up in the production tab. Cure's +1 infantry attack, about 50% complete. And INnoVation sending up a bit of a force now. Looks like we are leaving in the natural and trying to see what we can get done. As Cure what the heck? Cure has a Reaper down here and he's got a kill. What did he kill?
Don't know, to be honest. Either a Reaper or an SCV. It had to be an SCV out on the map for INnoVation. Cure's Reaper comes on in. There we go. He's picked off 3 SCVs.
Yeah, he just focused on the wounded ones, and then to get murdered in that mineral line. INnoVation continues his push across the map. Cure has a 3rd base. INnoVation just now starting his 3rd.
Oh, this is so risky for INnoVation being out on the map when Cure has Stimpack done. He's got to be careful, and here goes in Cure's drop, getting into the main base. This is disastrous.
Oh my gosh, there's nothing here. He has to pull all the boys. 3 SCVs go down immediately. INnoVation has got to go.
Stim gets denied. He's just got to kill Cure here. He's trying to break up this ramp, but he doesn't have his own Stim. Cure has Stim. Auto turrets have been thrown down. INnoVation might actually be able to break his opponent here. All the while back in his main base, he's taking a ton of damage, but he is getting a tank set up. That is absolutely massive for INnoVation if he can help shred down some of these Marines. There's a few of them left. The Liberators going to be doing what they can. The Medivacs are gone. And now INnoVation is in Cure's base. He's not going down without a fight here.
Yeah, we've turned into a bit of a base race.
Cure's drop has been shut down, so now it's all about INnoVation on Cure's side of the map. Cure has a couple of Cyclones and Reapers that didn't really help out while this was going on. He's trying to get some units out of here. He's actually loading up SCVs. Where are these SCVs going? You can't abandon ship just yet, Cure. I mean, he's trying to intercept some reinforcements, and he will catch these Liberators. That is absolutely huge for Cure, shutting that down. INnoVation looking to keep pressing on with this. We take a look at the worker count right now. INnoVation massively ahead. Vikings are going to come in, shut down one of the Ravens. That's fantastic for Cure. Still, though, INnoVation, I mean, he got a lot of damage done. Cure's going to try and pounce on this, shut it down. SCVs are being pulled. Can he get rid of INnoVation here?
Wow, he does it. He cleans it out, loses a bunch more SCVs in the process, but is able to retake his natural base, which is huge. He still has his main, which is oversaturated, but he can fix that by just doing a bit of a main transfer there. Trying to catch, ooh, that Raven almost made it out. Did not get to the high ground and is completely dead. So far, it's army supply that really favors Cure here. Sure, INnoVation has a ton of workers. Sure, he's on 3 bases. But what does he have to defend with right now, LaughNgamez?
It's not a lot, to be honest. 2 tanks are rolling up, and tanks are very good defensive units, so that's a good start for him. He is still just down so much in the army count. He's got the workers for sure. He's got a fantastic economy lead, and that's why Cure's so pressured to get something done here. Cure is crashing the gates now, though. The tank is going to get focused down. There's one left in the back there. However, SCVs are pulled. INnoVation can afford to take a few losses, but no, he taps out. He knows it's over and can't stop that army. Cure, 2-0 INnoVation.
Wow, Cure looking so good. I don't think either of us gave him a chance to win that series, let alone win it 2-0. Yeah. I am shamed, Cure. I apologize profusely for not believing in you. That was some fantastic play, man. I thought for sure when INnoVation had moved across the map and had shut down Cure's all of his mining except in his main base, had that huge economic advantage that he'd make it work, but he overstayed his welcome a little bit, maybe droned up, SCV'd up a little bit too hard behind it, didn't have the forces to defend against the counterattack, and bam, Cure takes the 2-0 win in the best of 3. That was incredible.
That was incredible, and that was quick.
Yes.
That was very quick one. That game started with a proxy Reaper. You got the damage done, and then just this series in general. Like, that was like a 20-minute series or something.
Yeah, yep, about 10 minutes on each of those games, if I remember right.
And okay, unfortunately for the INnoVation fans, INnoVation has fallen. That is very exciting for the Cure fans. There's that one guy on Team Liquid who comments about Cure on pretty much every thread, so he's losing his marbles right now.
He's a believer for sure.
And yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. Make sure to let your friends know that this is going on, tweet it out and whatnot. Having a lot of you guys coming in to tune on in shows us that you do like these kind of events, that this is worth running. Of course, thanks to the sponsors and whatnot while this is going on, Matcherino, who we're partnered with, OSC, and of course, Afreeca TV. We'll be thrown to a quick break, and then we'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Don't go